All right, so let's tackle a huge question that honestly trips up almost everyone. What's the smartest order to invest your money? I want you to think about it like building a house. Seriously, you wouldn't try to hang drywall before you've even poured the concrete foundation, would you? Of course not. Well, the exact same logic applies to building your wealth. If you get the order wrong, the whole thing can get real wobbly real fast. And this quote just nails the problem perfectly. So many of us get all hyped up about investing, maybe in stocks or crypto, but at the same time, we're carrying this high-interest credit card debt. It's literally like pouring water into a bucket that's still of holes and then just wondering, hey, why isn't this thing ever getting full? It's a super frustrating cycle, but believe me, it's one we can absolutely break. So what if you had a blueprint? A clear, step-by-step guide to build your financial house the right way, on solid ground. That's exactly what we're going to lay out today. No guesswork, no chasing hot tips, just a simple, logical plan to build your financial future brick by brick so you know it's built to last. Okay, here's our construction plan. First, we're going to talk about the magical material we're building with, and that's compound interest. Then, we'll get to work, laying the foundation, putting up the framework, putting on the roof, and finally, I'll show you how to protect your brand new house from some really common and really expensive mistakes. Before we even think about laying a single brick, we have to understand the incredible power source that makes this whole thing work. It's called compound interest. You know, Einstein supposedly called it the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. It's the engine behind all of this, and it's why when you start is so much more important than how much you start with. Let me show you what I mean. Let's look at Kevin and Cindy. They both start with $1,000 and get a 10% return. Kevin pulls out his $100 profit every year, so his growth is just a straight line. After 30 years, he's got $4,000. Not bad. But Cindy does something different. She leaves her interest in the account. So after year 1, she has $1,100. Now in year 2, she earns 10% on that entire amount. Her interest starts earning its own interest. It's this incredible snowball effect, and after 30 years, Cindy's got over $17,000. That's more than 4 times what Kevin has. And here's a cool little trick to figure this stuff out in your head. It's called the rule of 72. You just divide the number 72 by your interest rate, and that tells you roughly how many years it'll take for your money to double. So at a 1% interest rate, it takes 72 years, a lifetime. But at 10%, which is closer to the stock market's historical average, it takes just over 7 years. This really shows you why just letting your cash sit in a low-interest savings account means you're actually losing money to inflation every single day. And this slide right here is maybe the most important one of all. Check this out. The early bird invests $5,000 a year for just 10 years, from age 25 to 35, and then stops. Total invested, $50,000. The power saver starts later, invests the same amount every year, but does it for 30 years. They put in $150,000, 3 times more money. And who ends up with more? The early bird, by a lot. All because their money had more time to work that compounding magic. Time is everything. All right, now that we understand our magic building material, it's time to pour the foundation. I'm going to be honest, this isn't the glamorous part. This isn't picking winning stocks. But without this step, everything else we build is on shaky ground. It is, without a doubt, the most important step. So a rock-solid foundation has 2 parts. First, you need an emergency fund. Think of it like a shock absorber for your finances when life, happens. And second, you have to get rid of high-interest debt. This stuff is like financial termites, just eating away at your house before you even get a chance to build it. An emergency fund isn't really about getting rich, it's a psychological safety net. It's what stops you from making a terrible financial decision when you're stressed out. Your car breaks down, your AC dies in July. You won't have to sell your investments at a loss or rack up credit card debt. So here's the plan. First, just race to save your first $1,000. Get it done. Then build that up to 1 full month of your living expenses. The final goal is a comfy 3 to 6 months, just sitting there, ready for anything. Okay, once that little safety net is in place, it is time to go to war with what some people call financial cancer. The average interest rate on a credit card today is around 22%. Now, flip that around. Paying off that debt is the same as earning a guaranteed, risk-free 22% return on your money. Tell me, where else can you find a guaranteed 22% return? Nowhere. It is the single best investment you can possibly make. Foundation solid. Now we can start building up. It's time to put up the framework of our financial house. This is where we use the most powerful tools out there to really give our wealth some structure and some serious strength. Now,
The order here is really, really important. It's all designed to get you the most free money and the biggest tax advantages. Step 1, get every single penny of your employer match in your 401k. Step 2, max out an IRA, that's an individual retirement account. And step 3, if you can, max out one of the most powerful and overlooked accounts out there, the health savings account, or HSA. Let's be crystal clear about the employer match. It is free money. If your company offers a dollar for dollar match, that is an immediate, guaranteed 100% return on your money. Not taking that is literally like saying no thanks to a raise. In fact, this is the only reason, the one single exception, to invest before you've paid off all your high-interest debt. Get the match, then get right back to crushing that debt. All right, the HSA. If you're eligible for one, this thing is like the Swiss Army knife of investment accounts. It has a triple tax advantage that is just unbeatable. 1, the money you put in is tax deductible, which lowers your taxes today. 2, the money inside grows completely tax-free. And 3, when you take it out for medical expenses, those withdrawals are, you guessed it, also tax-free. It's an incredible combination you won't find in any other account. Okay, look at that. The foundation is solid, the framework is strong. Now it's time to put the roof on, protect everything we've built, and then maybe we can start thinking about adding a guest house out back. It's time to expand. So once you've gotten the company match and you've maxed out your IRA and your HSA for the year, the next logical step is to go back to your 401k and contribute as much as you can, all the way up to the annual limit. And after all of those tax-advantaged accounts are full, you're ready for the big leagues, a regular taxable brokerage account where there are no limits to how much you can invest. Building a beautiful house is one thing, but you've got to protect it, right? There is a silent threat that can slowly and quietly eat away at your financial structure from the inside, and you might not even notice it's happening. And that threat is high investment fees. You've probably seen this before. A mutual fund has a 2% management fee, and you think, 2%, what's the big deal? It's just 2 pennies on the dollar. But that's not how it works. Because of our old friend compound interest, that tiny little fee can have a ridiculously huge impact over the long haul. The damage from that small fee is honestly shocking. Look at this. With a low-cost index fund that charges, say, 0.2%, you'd get to keep 94% of your potential earnings after 30 years. But with that 2% fee, you'd only have 56% of what you could have had. That tiny fee difference costs you nearly half of your entire nest egg. See, compounding can work against you just as powerfully as it works for you. Okay, so we've gone through the whole blueprint. We've talked about leaky buckets, the power of time, all of it. So what do you think? What's the single biggest, most devastating financial mistake a person can make? Is it paying those high fees? Is it picking the wrong stock? Nope. The biggest mistake isn't picking the wrong stock, it's simply waiting to start. Procrastination. That is the ultimate enemy of building wealth. You can always find ways to earn more money, but you can never, ever get back lost time. And as we saw with our early bird investor, time is the most powerful ingredient you have. So let's do a quick recap of the blueprint. 1. Lay a solid foundation. That means an emergency fund and killing high-interest debt. 2. Build the framework. Get your employer match, max your IRA, max your HSA. 3. Finish the job. Go back and max out your 401k, then open a taxable account. And the number one rule that governs everything else, start now. Time is your most valuable asset. So there you have it, the exact plan, the step-by-step instructions to build a financial house that's strong enough to weather any storm. The only question left is, what's the first brick you are going to lay today? Are you going to set up that high-yield savings account, make one extra payment on your credit card, or just log in and finally sign up for your 401k? The best time to start was years ago. The second best time is right now.